It was just another quiet afternoon in the sleepy town of Redfield Hollow. The kind of afternoon where the breeze barely moved the oak trees lining Main Street, and the local diner's neon sign blinked half-heartedly through the haze of the late summer sun. The town lived on rhythm steady, soft, predictable. At the edge of the town square, nestled beneath the rustling canopy of elms, Officer Ryan McCade sat idly in his patrol cruiser, the engine idling low, a half-empty coffee resting in the holder between the seats. He stared out at the modest sprawl of the park across the street, watching a mother wrangle her toddler out of the sandbox while an old man tossed breadcrumbs to a line of expectant pigeons. This was Redfield Hollow, peaceful, uneventful, and for the most part, content to stay that way. Ryan wasn't complaining. His job in Redfield had never been complicated. A few traffic stops, an occasional noise complaint, maybe a runaway dog now and then. Most shifts passed in this kind of quiet lull. He'd grown up here, knew nearly every resident by name, and though his uniform gave him authority, he rarely had to use it. His partner, Officer Ethan Callahan, was parked just down the road in front of the gas station, likely nursing his third bag of pretzels for the day. But by the time the hour hand slid past 3, something would happen, something neither Ryan nor Ethan could have anticipated, something that would unravel their assumptions, test their professionalism, and shake the very foundation of how they judged the people they swore to serve. It started innocuously enough. A slender man, somewhere in his 80s, wandered into Carlin's Market, the family-owned grocery store that had stood at the corner of Maple and Fifth for 4 generations. The bell above the door gave its usual chime, and for a moment, nobody really noticed him. His movements were slow, deliberate. He wore a weathered army green jacket a size too big, the shoulders hanging low, threadbare around the seams. His name was Thomas Tom Delaney, though only a handful of people in town knew it. To most folks, Tom was just the quiet old man who lived alone in a cedar cabin near Miller's Woods, the kind of man who attended church on Easter, voted in every election, and didn't say much in between. He kept to himself, never caused trouble. In Redfield, that meant people liked you, even if they didn't really know you. Tom's gait was uneven, his left leg dragging just slightly, a limp that hinted at old injuries. He walked past the produce section, nodding softly at a young mother reaching for apples. He picked up a loaf of rye bread, a carton of milk, and a can of tomato bisque. He paused briefly in the soup aisle, reading the labels carefully as if it really mattered. When he reached the front, he got in line behind a young man in a hoodie who seemed rushed, agitated even. The young man's wallet slipped from his fingers, tumbling to the tile floor with a soft smack. Tom instinctively bent to pick it up. The man didn't wait. He grabbed his change from the cashier, mumbled something inaudible, and darted out the front doors. As Tom straightened up, wallet in hand, the cashier's eyes snapped toward him, narrowing. Her tone turned sharp. "Hey, did you just take that guy's wallet?" Tom blinked. "No, I actually dropped it. I was just—" "Don't lie," the girl snapped, loud enough for nearby customers to stop and stare. "You took that wallet." He froze, confused, holding the wallet out with an open hand. The store manager, a portly man named Darren Kessler, appeared from behind a shelf of canned goods, his face red with frustration. "What's going on here?" "He stole that customer's wallet," the cashier declared. "No, I didn't," Tom said, calmly but with a tinge of hurt. "I was returning it, but nobody was listening." Darren pointed a chubby finger. "Sir, don't move." Ryan got the call 5 minutes later. Possible theft in progress. Suspect is elderly male, non-compliant. He sighed, started the engine, and within minutes arrived at the store alongside Ethan. As they stepped inside, Darren greeted them with a self-important nod. "That's him," he said, motioning toward Tom, who stood still near the entrance, the wallet still in his hand. "Tried to lift that kid's wallet." Ryan and Ethan approached slowly. Tom didn't back away, didn't raise his voice, just offered the wallet with a small shrug. "There's been a mistake," he said. "Sir," Ryan said firmly, "I'm going to need you to place your hands behind your back." "I didn't do anything wrong," Tom replied softly. "Hands behind your back," Ethan repeated, this time louder, his patience thinning. Tom obeyed. The cuffs closed around his wrists with an unforgiving click. The metal bit into thin skin. No one spoke in his defense. No one questioned the story. To them, he was just an old man who got caught doing something shameful. Ryan avoided meeting his eyes as they escorted him out. At the station, Tom sat silently in the holding cell, his hands folded neatly in his lap. Ethan tossed his jacket onto a bench and sneered. "Guy's got the nerve to steal at his age," he muttered. Ryan sat at his desk, unsettled. Something about Tom didn't fit. Not just the calm demeanor, but something deeper. It felt wrong. He walked over to the jacket, intending to process it as part of standard intake. As he patted it down, his hand brushed against a seam on the inside. He found a hidden pocket, and it was a metal badge worn, but gleaming faintly, with an eagle insignia and lettering that read, U.S. Special Forces Clearance Level Alpha. "Ethan," Ryan called over. "You need to see this." Ethan stepped over and let out a low whistle. "That looks real," he said, eyes narrowing. Ryan opened Tom's wallet. No credit cards. No bank info. Just an old military ID. Not the usual veteran's card. Something else. Something he didn't recognize. Curious and uneasy, Ryan picked up the phone and dialed the federal number listed on the back of the ID. One ring. Then, "This is Agent Marcus Langston, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Identify yourself." Ryan swallowed. "Officer Ryan McCade. Redfield Hollow Police Department. We have a man here. Thomas Delaney. Brought in for suspected theft." Silence. "Repeat the name," Agent Langston said. "Thomas Delaney." Another pause. Longer. Then, "Listen very carefully," Langston said, his voice now razor-sharp. "Do not question him. Do not engage. Secure your facility. We are en route. 30 minutes. Click." The line went dead. Ryan turned to Ethan, who'd been eavesdropping the whole time. "What the hell just happened?" Ethan looked at Tom through the glass wall. The man hadn't moved. Still as stone. Still silent. Still composed. Then Tom looked up and gave them a small, almost knowing smile. "Might want to make some fresh coffee," he said casually. "It's going to be a long afternoon." 30 minutes later, a convoy of matte black SUVs rolled into the station's lot. Federal agents in dark suits and earpieces stepped out with the efficiency of a military unit. The woman in charge strode into the station with crisp authority. "Where's Mr. Delaney?" she asked. Ryan pointed to the holding cells. She didn't waste another word. She walked straight to the door, opened it without hesitation, and extended her hand. "Mr. Delaney," she said with genuine reverence. "We apologize for the confusion. We'll take it from here." Tom rose slowly, nodded once to Ryan and Ethan, shook the woman's hand, and walked out flanked by agents. One agent stayed behind. A younger man in his early 40s, crisp suit, steely eyes. "You don't know who you just cuffed, do you?" he asked. Ryan shook his head. The agent continued. "Thomas Delaney served in 5 major operations, including Black Forest, Desert Fawn, and Echo Sentinel. Missions so classified they don't exist in any official records. He prevented terrorist events that could have cost thousands of lives. Political destabilization, biological threats, cyber warfare you wouldn't believe. His clearance is above most of the agency. He is, without exaggeration, one of the reasons you get to live the life you live." Ethan cleared his throat, but he was just shopping, and he wanted to be left alone, the agent said. "You're lucky he's forgiving. Many wouldn't be." Then he left. Ryan sat at his desk long after the station emptied. His thoughts spiraled, looping back to that single moment in the store. Tom's restraint, his grace under pressure, the way they never gave him the benefit of the doubt, the rush to act, the failure to see. A week passed. One Tuesday afternoon, a plain manila envelope arrived at the station. Inside was a handwritten letter. "Officers McCade and Callahan. We all make mistakes. What matters is what we learn from them. Stay sharp. Stay humble. Thomas Delaney." Below the note was a single item. A military challenge coin, thick, heavy, inscribed with an emblem few had ever seen. Ryan turned it over in his palm. The weight of it symbolically crushed him. It was an honor. one not given lightly. And in that moment, he understood. Not all heroes wear medals. Not all warriors brag. And not all legends live in stories they walk among us, quietly, humbly, asking for nothing but dignity in return. Thomas Delaney had been one of those legends. And Ryan McCade would never forget the lesson again.